Good morning. Well, I guess afternoon by the time you see this, but anyway, hi. I'm at home today. Some of you saw yesterday, I was checking some messages during class. My little is sick, and he has unfortunately caught the stomach bug that's going around, and he can't go to school. He's been sick in the bathroom a lot, so it's my turn to stay home with him today. So I'm delivering what we would have done in a video. Please make some good choices so that when I come back, we don't have to start off class on a negative way discussing behavioral choices. All right, so where we left off yesterday, I know that some of you were able to work on the make sense questions. Some of you did not have enough time. So that's where we're going to start. And if you were absent yesterday, there is an extra set of pages for you. Just ask the sub. Okay, she has them. I have them labeled for her. And then take a look at what one of your classmates has, just so you know you're getting the right paper. Right now, though, I do want you to take some time to record your ideas on your paper with these 3 questions. So pause this video, write down your answers, and then come back. Absolutely, I pause. A big old pause to make sure that those that are just trying to listen to this to say that they haven't done, consider and give a second thought to actually doing the work. All right, so what can we say that would be true in response to the question, what will happen to the orangutan population if we add births and deaths? What did you see your graph do? Did you see it have a straight flat line? Did you have sharp increases, decreases? Or did it kind of have small changes, but pretty much stay the same? Question number 2 is kind of a hint. Why did you see a change in the size? Why did the population fluctuate? So you have to think back to the things that we've been studying all year long. What would cause a population to fluctuate when the number of trees is not changing? Think about the amount of energy, because that was one of the indicators, right, for births, was the amount of energy. If an orangutan had enough energy, it was able to reproduce. The population gets large, they're going to start competing for resources because those resources start to become limited. So if you have too large of a population, you're not going to have enough energy to go around. So some of your orangutans start dying off. When that population gets smaller, that makes more resources available so that the orangutans can have more energy. They can reproduce more. And so you'll see that up and down trend. But they're not very dramatic. And then the last question was asking for you to consider why we do the repeated trials. Were both of your graphs identical? The answer to that should definitely be no. None of them were identical. And you didn't change any of the conditions. Right? When we run trials, we want to make sure that we are eliminating any of the possibility for error and for reality. Sometimes we have weird situations that happen, and in that population in the simulator, they could have had a tsunami come and wipe out a big part of their population. We have to make sure we take into consideration factors that happen naturally and human error. All right, let's move on to a couple reminders. One of them, hey, look, vocabulary words. These are ones that have come up several times this year, and it's in your best interest to make sure that you are contributing this to your memory bank. Be like, hey, remember these words, because next year you're going to start the school year as an 8th grader, having to develop investigations, and these words will be a big part of that. So remember the independent variable, what you're changing on purpose. It's one aspect of a situation that you are going to alter. And then the dependent variable, you're going to look to respond. It's a factor that you're hoping is going to change in some way, and you're going to collect data on that. If you don't have this in your notes, put it there. All right, on to experiment number 2. Yesterday we had boiled down the situation with the orangutans in trying to make the population increase. So maybe we need to adjust the amount of fruit trees. So today you're going to run the simulation again, very similar to yesterday. Okay, but you're going to pick a different percentage. So make sure on your page you have chosen another percentage. Remember, it is 0 to 40, 25 is the baseline. But you're going to pick another percentage to test if your hypothesis that an increase in fruit trees is going to help the orangutan population increase. Okay. I want you to make sure that you are paying attention to those graphs. Colored pencils are over by the window, same place they've always been, a little bit buried because of light labs for 8th grade, sorry guys. But you need 3 different colors today. 3 trials. I know I'd made mention to some of you that 3 trials is really where I would tell you, hey, you've conducted a quality investigation. This is right on. Repeating it helps you to eliminate errors. It helps you to find outliers, the inconsistent pieces of information. Okay, so as you are watching your 5 years and all of your monkeys run around, I want you to think about how did that orangutan population change? How did it respond? What happened to that population? Okay. And could you explain a noticeable difference? Is there a noticeable difference? Your comparison, that 25% coverage. Okay. That's your comparison, because remember that was the baseline. And compare it to the information that you ran yesterday. Compare it to those. You're collecting data and building a case, okay? And then when I come back, we will be creating a class data table so that we can see what happens, okay? But again, make sure that you are running this 3 times, copying that graph down, filling in your data table, and then there are some make sense questions on there, okay? And I know we don't have a class data table to look at. However, you can look at what you did yesterday and the baseline and what you did today to start developing an idea, okay? Make sure that you are filling this out on your page as well. And we will wrap this one up when I get back with the class data table, some looking at some trends in the data, and then, of course, answering any questions or highlighting any observations you've made, all right? So right now, it's time for you to get to work. Please make good choices. Do not give the sub a hard time. She's a very nice lady. I got to meet her this morning. All right, and then I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.